I'll run this from the top, so in case anybody missed this. All right. So we're gonna start class one over one more time for the summer. So between July 1st and August 30th, I will be explaining what private banking is, how it works, and why you need it. This is the morning come up. It's the first morning come up of July. It's my spirit day. So share some of my good energy with y'all today and explain to y'all what we got here. So the wealth class one is intro to DeFi. DeFi is decentralized finance. My brother just asked me earlier, like, is this different or is it the same as the traditional way of banking, right? How is it the same as your Chase or your BOA or your Navy Federal? So the way that DeFi and crypto is the same is it allows you to manage money. Okay, that's one of the things that DeFi allows you to do. It allows you to manage your own money. The difference is it allows you to actually earn interest and fees on your transactions. So when you're dealing with a bank, you earn what's called an APR, right? Which is how much you pay for using the money. In DeFi, you earn an APY, which is how much you earn from depositing the money. And then we'll dig into that later because I know some people still need to, learn how to actually count their money in percentages instead of dollars. So that's another thing that we focus on. It's like for those who know how to read a chart, we'll be going over how to read a chart. That's what the trading part comes in. And when we do the charts, we'll be going over the uptrend, downtrend loans and letting you know how that works. Okay, so this is for beginners. This is the basis. Class one is $75. So for everybody that's already in class, I appreciate all your support and the feedback that helped us get to this point to make things simple. Once you get in class, you go to classwork. And if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions on how we can make it smoother after you go through the class, because a lot of people don't go through the class right away like they should. You go to the checklist. The checklist is going to explain to you what this is. The reason we have class is so that, we can discuss what this is and what it does. There's already videos and content posted in the class for you to have access to. So you just basically go through the checklist. Every time you go through the checklist, you'll accomplish something new, learn something new. There's more resources, focus points on different information that we also going to cover in class. And then some information on trading for those who actually do still want to learn how to trade. Now, this is class. Once you're in there, you have full access, unlimited access to go over the information. I'm just going to hop right off into private banking, right? Because like Brother Dennis just said, you can take these talents to multiple networks. You can use this same strategy, the same information that you learned from class on 10 other websites and make money 10 different ways just from doing the same exact thing 10 different places. And like he said, you don't even have to invest money, honestly. You can just use the websites and earn free money, right? But learning how to do that is where we come in to help you. And if those who don't know what it is, we also tell you what it is, how it works. And that's where we at now. So this is Folks Finance. This is the platform that I prefer to use to teach people how to do their own private banking, how to use DeFi to manage your own assets and earn compound interest. All right, so Folks Finance allows you to lend and borrow money. Simple as that. Assets, I'm going to say assets. Lend and borrow assets. You earn yield, which is compound interest on your assets. Folks Finance also allows you to vote if you decide to get more into the network and into what's going on the platform and in the system. You can have a voting power. The loans, my specialty. I love the loans. Then the swap. All right. So Folks.finance is the website. I want to encourage everybody to actually go check it out, touch it, And we will be going over governance soon, so you guys can get familiar with that. This is a part of the voting that I just mentioned. Uh, they're going to be changing that soon too, so I don't want to jump in it just yet. All right. So, Folks Finance allows you to lend, borrow, trade, and manage your assets all right here. The total value locked is $64 million. So, basically, what I'm telling you is that I will teach you how to make money every day off of this $64 million. And it doesn't matter if you have $100, $1,000, $1, $5. It don't matter how much. It's not about the how much. There's no personal information, no minimums to start. You can learn this the same day you take action. All right. So you know it's $64 million locked inside of Folks Finance. This is the BlockCycle DAO wallet. All right. So it's one of BlockCycle's wallets. I just sent $13 to this wallet just so that I could run y'all through the setup and just what it looked like real quick. But this is the private banking. Okay, now let's go to the deposit. The deposit is the safe bet. I tell people this all the time to keep it simple. The deposit is the safe bet. So as long as you got the money in deposit, you'll be earning compound interest. No problem, right? You don't have to do anything but make a deposit. Let me go right here. So if you deposit your USDC, which is your dollars, dollar for dollars in cash, you'll be able to earn 6% on your money. And we all know, for those who actually know about banks, you know banks don't actually give you any money. So it's important to understand how valuable just earning 6% on your dollars. That means if you sit $100 in there, you'll earn $6 off that. If you put $100 in your checking account right now, it's going to still be $100 tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now. So we actually have, that's one difference there. You know, and I don't want to use the word, I'm not going to use that word. But from my experience, right, as long as you put money in here, it's going to grow every day. And we don't do that in my bank account. So that's why I'm so gung-ho about showing people how to put their money into DeFi, because the money grow every day. You don't even got to trade, like he said. You don't got to do the loans. You don't even have to deposit. You could just use the platform and earn that way. Like, there's so many ways to make money. So just learning how it works. I'm focusing on finance because that's what everybody, that's interwoven through everything. All right, so deposits, you can earn 6%. You put in Tether, you can earn 29%. I really wouldn't mess with that. I don't like Tether. But you can deposit any of your assets right here. And they even have gold and silver. And this gold and silver is redeemable for real grams of gold and silver. Right? You guys can do your research on Mel. This company, they actually already put the gold and silver and everything else in the vaults and all of that, got it verified. And now they tokenized it, which is an example of using the technology. So now you can invest in real gold using this token because somebody connected the real gold to the website with the numbers, right? And that's all of the intricate stuff. So we go over that too if anybody wants to actually get into how to do things like that. Because if you own physical real estate, or if you own watches, like I think you went over that before, Dennis, like any asset that you own outright, you can tokenize it. You can sell it off in fractions to the public, and let them control the equity of any asset, your car, your house, your music, books, any type of asset, any type of IP. So that's the deposit. Now, the lending pools, this is like the next level of deposit. So with this, you just deposit and withdraw up top. With the lending pools, you basically are going to be earning money 3 different ways. So you're going to be earning from the deposit, which is lending your money into the platform. Then any swap fees, which is trading. So anytime someone trades, you'll also earn another 3.5% basically. And then you'll earn 27% from farming, which is another thing that Brother Dennis just mentioned. Farming, which is where you sit your assets into the platform and it'll yield every day. Simple as that. So you'll farm, you'll grow the money. We even have an actual farming class where we teach people how to actually target different farms to earn those APYs. And that's 34% on your money right there. 37%, 38%, 28%, 20%, 25%, 63%. Like, If you can go to the bank and get these returns, then go. But we know you can't. So this is why I'm stressing how this works. You put the money there, you earn the yield. Now, when you make the money, it's up to you what you do and how you manage them. Let me see. All right, so loans. For those who don't know, you can create your own loan. General is what we usually stick with. Once you create the loan, you can add any of the assets that are available. What was I sending this to? All right. You can add any of the assets, Algo, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of that to the loan. So bam, we create the loan. Loan should be empty. Manage. All right. Waiting on this to go through. All right. So we're going to start off with the downtrend. That's the safe bet for me right now. Okay, so the amount doesn't matter. It could be $5, $500, $50, whatever. So we're going to add $5 to the collateral. Bam. As you can see, it's 4.99. That little small fee was the transaction fee. Okay, and now we're earning 6%, 6.25% on our $5. And we don't have to do anything else right now. So the difference is, just for clarity, the difference of adding your USDC to the deposit versus adding it to the loan. When you add your USDC to the deposit, you earn extra rewards. So I also get the 6% compound on my USDC, but then I'm also in a position to earn more algo just from depositing here. So it says 0% right now, but that fluctuates. So once the market does what it does, it's going to go back up. So then you'll be earning not only from your dollar deposit, but also from that. So this will be as high as 10, 15% throughout, like at least 3-4 times throughout the year. And that's the deposit. So you're able to earn algo and USDC. With the loan, your USDC will compound all day, every day. Just as long as it's sitting there, it'll grow. No worries. And I've been using Folks Finance for the last 2 years, basically, since they started, since they revamped the website, added features and everything. Like, I know this shit like the back of my hand. So as you can see right here, the $4 just converted into a 5. So you earned your feedback already, and now the money's going to be compounding. What we're going to do is we're going to deposit that 5, let that sit there, earn that 6%, and then we're going to go borrow some algo. Okay, and why are we borrowing algo? One, we're borrowing algo because it's the main coin of the blockchain. It's the main coin that we use to pay for fees. It's the main coin that we use to earn rewards. That's first, because this is the Algorand network, the Algorand blockchain. So that's first. That's why we're going to borrow that. So when the price of Algorand drops, knowing how to do the private banking strategy becomes advantageous, because as the price of Algorand drops, we're discharging debt. Right? This $3.59 will go down to $3 even, which means we just saved ourselves 59 cents on our debt. So while we're losing debt, we're on his side, we're gaining interest, right? We're earning over here and we're discharging debt. So earlier, the liquidation margin was 100%. The liquidation margin being at 100% is the most important thing. The liquidation margin is the most important part of the private banking strategy. I'm stressed that over and over again. The liquidation margin is the main focus point of the strategy. As long as you manage your liquidation margin, you will make money every single day. The only way you will lose money is if the liquidation margin goes to 0. Okay? If the liquidation margin goes to zero, you will lose all of your money. All of your assets will be gone, will be liquidated. So that's the main thing. All right. Right now, we've borrowed 71% of the $5. So if this was $100, we would have borrowed $72. So if this was $100,000 property, we would have borrowed 72% right away, same day. No paperwork, no asking for approvals, none of that, none of the red tape. We got the asset or we got the cash, we can leverage it right now. We don't need to talk to nobody. We don't need to do nothing else but just go to work. So this will be considered setting up your downtrend loan. The downtrend loan has USDC on the collateral side, and then it has algo on the borrow side so that we can take advantage of the market when the value of algo goes down. When the value of algo goes down, the liquidation margin will go up. Whenever the liquidation margin goes over 10%, you can borrow. Okay, whenever the liquidation margin goes over 10%, you can borrow. If the liquidation margin goes under 10%, you cannot borrow, and you should consider some of the options to manage your liquidation margin. Personally, I let my liquidation ride till about 7-8% before I decide to adjust it. But for other people, you can set it however you want. That's why I stress, make sure that you learn how it works so that you're able to adjust it in case not feeling comfortable. All right. Do I got any questions on this part right here?
No, I'm just soaking it all in, and how I see that this LTV is at 72%. It's just interesting how this all correlates to like the LTV in real estate. So once you do a refinance in real estate, you get a LTV. You want an LTV around 75%, which would cover the cost of the property. So this is just, it's interesting how all of these strategies are kind of like correlating with each other.
Yeah, and it's instant. That's the main thing. Another thing I want to stress.
I do got a question for you. So I'm watching you do this. So basically, how much money did you start up with? You started up with $5 and basically USDC, and then you had a couple of dollars in Algo, correct?
I borrowed $359, which
Yeah.
is now sitting right in here.
With just $5.
Yep. So I borrowed 72% of the $5.
And the strategy behind this is, since you're earning APY on the USDC, and you're earning also APY on the token, you're kind of even if the token price went down, you're still offsetting. Sometimes you'll still be able to offset the depreciation because of the interest that you're earning, correct? And then also being able to borrow some of that algo or other tokens.
Exactly. See, you call both of there's two things in there right there. You got that.
Mm-hmm.
So one, you're earning, and two, you can borrow while you're earning off the same money.
Mm.
So that's the difference, right? I mean, but it's like if you own real estate, right? If you own the property, you still get to collect the cash flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can still go borrow against it and get a big chunk right now too, can't you?
Yep. And 75% LTV. Whatever is the equity in there, you can borrow up to 75% of it.
So now this is where it gets fun though. So that's where it's similar. That's why DeFi and the old school way of doing things is still similar, because you need to know those strategies in order to navigate this. So there's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
some financial literacy in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now let's go. So we borrowed 359 in algo, which is what, 24. So let's add that. That same 24 that we borrowed is actually worth what? What's more than that? But let's leave it at that right there. All right, so the same 24. As you can see right here in the box, the liquidation margin goes up from 9% to 42%. Right? So you just increased your liquidation margin by adding more collateral, right? The same
Mm.
24 that we borrowed, we just, instead of withdrawing it, instead of taking it and spending it, doing anything, we just added it back to the collateral. So we just turned our $5 into $8.48.
I see. I see. And basically, the reason why that liquidation margin went from a high risk at 10% to a low risk at 42% is because you just injected more equity or liquidity into your market. If it was real estate, it would be like this is almost like a ORM loan, adjusted rate mortgage, and how this works. So, man, this is interesting. So adding more equity into this loan allowed you to have a higher liquidation margin, which created a lower risk investment.
Yep. And now
Right.
my LTV went down too, which means there's some more money on the table, which is the key indicator of whenever the liquidation margin is over 10%, you can borrow. So we have enough equity from 42% all the way down to 10% that we can pull out at any moment.
Mm,
But
dope.
you gotta let him know about the risk factor. While he's at 42, that's a good risk to have. That 10% is scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody know me though. If you've been around me long enough, you know I'm about the skin of my teeth with this shit. But that's just me. That's why I stress how it works, because you have to know how to adjust it. Once you know how to adjust it, you can put it to wherever you want to put it. I'm putting it where I like to put it. So that's that part. All right, but now we added the algo. So once we add the algo, we're gonna borrow USDC this time. We add algo to collateral, we borrow USDC. We're borrowing USDC to help stabilize our debt side. So we're going to add some stable coins, some USDC, some dollars to it so it can stay even. That drops the liquidation margin back down because we just pulled the equity out. And it takes our LTV to 66%. So the reason we add algo to collateral is so that we can start the uptrend. This way, when the value of algo goes up, we are in a position to take advantage of that appreciation. So we take advantage of appreciation with collateral, and we take advantage of depreciation with the borrow side, all inside of one transaction. So the market is going to fluctuate up and down. So this could go as low as 7%. It could go as high as 13 to 11%, whatever. So it's going to fluctuate. It's a part of the market. So just make sure that you know what to do. All right. So this is the uptrend loan, downtrend loan. You can make money just taking advantage of the market going up and down because you hold the asset in both positions. So it's like you buying and selling at the same time. You borrowing, you lending and borrowing at the same time. You in and out at the same time. So to make sure that you don't get liquidated and you have a better chance of survival with this, what I encourage people to do is add Bitcoin and Ethereum and other assets. I got gold in mine to your collateral. So the reason behind that is, if you've been in the space long enough, you pretty much know when the market's up, it's up. When it's down, it's down. So I don't really care about price as much. I don't even care about trading as much because I don't trade as much. And I don't care about the price because my strategy allows me to just accumulate more assets, right? I can accumulate more of these assets just by looping them all the time. So like right now, if I wanted to earn just all Bitcoin for the rest of this month, I would just go heavy on adding Bitcoin to my collateral, which I've done now. I've been heavy on different assets at different times. So we add the Bitcoin, you see the liquidation margin, it goes back up again, 26%. The LTV's at 53. We've turned that $5 into $10.48. So the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna borrow some Bitcoin. So now we can take advantage of the price of Bitcoin when it drops. And you can do the same strategy on many other platforms. So that's why it's just key to understanding how to do it and why you're doing it, how it works. Because you can do it with real estate, like you just said. You can do this with your stock if you understand, you could, it's all the same to me. But if you don't get it, that's why we go over it. All right, so we got Bitcoin. We're going to do some Ethereum. And just by setting your loan up like this, you're covering your bases as far as being diversified. So one of the things that I got from you, Brother Dennis, that I'll make sure that I say right now would be, let's do 13. That's good. Is that if you're only doing these assets on the Algorand network, if for whatever reason Algorand go down, then all of your assets will be out the door because they all on here. So that's the whole point of knowing how to navigate the space in general, because Bitcoin has its own network, Ethereum has its own network, Avalanche has its own network, Solana, Chainlink. So you can actually go to those networks and you can do the borrowing and lending, private banking. You can do the farming, you can do the swapping, trading, right? I just use this because it's where I started. It's the easiest for me to share it and teach it. But I'm teaching you how to use the technology, how to use the platforms. And then once you get it, you can go on ahead and dance any way you want. All right. So bam. Now our $5 is $12. And then we're going to borrow some Ethereum. And we can do this 24/7, right? You can do this as much as you want or as, often as you want. You can do it once a week, once a month. Like you can adjust the account to your, your liking. All right, bam. So let's just stop right here. So we have 4 different assets here. Our 24 algo back at 24. Now we earn our fees back. Our $5 is still compounding, those points right there. And you got to think, for those who trade, if you're still trading, you're basically earning points right now without trading. Just seeing your assets accumulate like this, you're earning points. I don't even count the points on the assets. I actually count the points on the liquidation margin. So imagine just every time your liquidation margin goes up 2 points, that's $5, so that's like almost $6, $3 of every pip. But do I got any questions on this though? You want to make sure that you set your loan up and then you diversify. So I basically just walked you through the downtrend, the uptrend, how to diversify, and why you do that. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, well, if y'all good, I got some calls to make. Let's see what this message say. How to manage the loan value when the 10% is taught in another class. Oh yeah. Miss Ruby, you made it.
Morning.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very curious, and I really want to get this down pat.
Okay, well, you got the mic. You got a question?
Yeah, I caught in late, but I just wanted to know how to manage the loans when the percentage goes below 10%. But I see that yeah.
Okay, so it's below 10% right now. So it doesn't matter if it's at 5% or if it's at 9.9%. You won't be able to borrow. So that's the main indicator there. Okay, anything 10% above, you can borrow, see? So it doesn't matter if it's at 1% or if it's at 9.9. If it's under 10%, the way for you to let's see if it works right here. Confirm. All right, let's do this too. All right, so bam. So it's under 10%, so you can't borrow. So one of the things you can do, you can repay the loan, and that'll raise the liquidation margin up. And if the liquidation margin goes up, then you know you got room to work with. I prefer not to repay, and I actually prefer to add. So if you add, the liquidation margin also goes up. It doesn't go up as far because you're not repaying the loan. Because when you're repaying the loan, you're paying a little bit of your interest back. But in this case, I would just add more collateral while it's under 10%, and that'll boost it up. And then you just rinse and repeat the process. Or if you're doing that to adjust it to, let's just say, we wanted to adjust it into 25% and let it sit from there, we could do that. Or if you wanted to make it go green, like they just said, you could do that. This is a part of knowing how to manage the assets. And then you can do that with any of these. And let's say, for example, you do not have any USDC, but you want to add USDC and your liquidation margin is under 10%. You can use your algo and convert it into USDC, and then it'll go into your collateral and your liquidation margin goes up. So it's just learning how to work the platform, because then you can mix and master the different strategies and different things you want to do when you want to do it. Another thing is, as you're earning money from your loan, practice adding it to the deposit. Just let that stack up over there, right? If you earn $5, take $1, throw it over here. If you earn $30, take $5 and throw it over there, right? Just get in the habit of that, because you're going to be focused on building this collateral. The whole thing is to continue to build the collateral and build the borrow. The higher the collateral, the higher the borrow. And that's okay. That's the goal, because you can always go in here and adjust it and withdraw the money, right? So basically, we started with $5. I want to make this very clear real quick. I can take this $5 and keep using this same strategy for the rest of the year. And let's just say I don't add any new money, no new money. I believe we can get this to, like, let's maybe say 120, maybe 150 at an extreme number, right? Just from milking this strategy, maybe more, right? Depending on the market, because it's going to be based off the market. But without adding any new money and just using this strategy, a person could sit here and milk this all day. And you can do this from your phone if you want to. But did that clear up that for you, Ms. Ruby, on how you could do that right there?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So before I get out of here, do I got anybody got any other questions? Anything else?
Last question. Consultation for this. What's your schedule looking like? Because I want to book a session. I see how this works, but I kind of got some. I want to do it while you explaining.
All right. I got about 8 more minutes before I gotta do something else. So just call me after this. I'm gonna wrap with you right now. We'll wrap this up and we'll talk about it real quick.
Bet that I got you.
All right. So I appreciate everybody for coming, brother Dennis. We got to put something together for the end of the summer. We do a bill pay class again. Do a $100 bill pay class for them.
Oh no, my $100 days is over.
No, come on. Just do one more.
No, I'll support you. I got you, but my $100 days is over.
All right. Well, we're gonna put a bill pay class together for people, man. I appreciate everybody's support, and then I'll talk to y'all later. It's day one. Gotta get ready to go make some more content. I appreciate everybody that shared my video too. All right, I'm out of here.
No problem. All right, I'm finna call you.